everybody. Today's demonstration is going to be on how to frost a cake. As you can see here, we have our cake already prepared. The key to frosting a cake is the icing consistency. You want to have a thin consistency. This means that if you have a store-bought icing that you're using, you normally want to add a couple of teaspoons of water to it just so that the consistency is more fluid. You don't want it to be too runny, however, just not quite as stiff as when you buy it directly from a store. What you're going to do when you want to frost a cake is start with the sides. One of the important ideas about frosting a cake is to never lift up your icing tool. I'm simply using a knife, but you can use any sort of spatula that you want. By not lifting up your icing tool, it prevents crumbs from entering your icing and makes the cake look more crisp and professional. So you're going to start out by just simply adding icing to the sides. And if you watch closely, I'm never lifting up the icing tool, just simply spreading out the icing. This also means that you want to add a lot of icing each time. That way you have more icing to spread around, and it's easier not to lift your tool. The less icing you have, the more difficult it is. Once you have frosted the sides to your satisfaction, it's time to frost the top. The easiest way to do the top is to first take any overhanging icing from the sides and push it to the inside, like this. On this particular cake, because it's so tall, there wasn't so much overhanging icing. However, on a shorter cake, there might be a lot more. This will help make the edges of your cake sharp and crisp. Once you have done that, you want to take a big glob of icing and put it directly in the center of your cake and work from there. So you see here we have my big glob. And the same with the sides, you don't really want to lift your icing tool at all. You just want to simply spread the icing around the top of the cake. It's also important to remember that when you're icing anything, you don't want too thick of a layer, because depending on what decorations you put on top, that too is made of icing. So you don't want your customers or your family members or whoever's eating your cake to have big chunks of icing at any one spot on the cake. So you just want to have enough to cover the cake, but at the same time, enough, not too much to make the icing overbearing. Once you've had the icing completely spread out on the top of your cake, you can just smooth out any rough edges, make it clean, remove any excess icing that you might have, and just make the entire cake look sharp all around. And there you have it, a perfectly iced cake ready for decorating.